Hi, and welcome to Pet Care, Pet Tips. Tim Qualls along with Kevin down here. And before we get started, because you've got a lot of pet tips that are now available on your site. So if people go to your Facebook page, or how do they go about getting there?
Actually, it's Pet Care on Facebook, Pet Care 1.
That's all it is.
Right up, yep.
And all those different tips. But today's tips I'm excited about because I don't think there's a better pet for people, especially young kids, than a bird. I mean, it's so easy
Great
to take
starter
care of.
pet.
Yeah. Let's talk about different types of birds, first of all.
Well, they vary in size. I mean, you can get something like a small parakeet or even a canary, and they can go up to big parrots, macaws, and so forth. Now, I mean, the big difference is, do you want something that's maybe chirps sings like a canary, not really handleable, but it's it's something, a conversational piece, and there's a lot of beautiful birds to do that with. And then there's others that are better handleable, better talkers. Sky's the limit, so you can
This one right here, especially, what type of parrot is that?
It's a conure. It's like a green cheek conure. They also call it a crimson belly. A couple of good things about these guys is that they're not noisy. That's one of the biggest gripes about birds. They can be noisy. These guys really don't. They're not the best talkers. They talk a little bit, but they're not noisy and they're very sweet. There's a couple other conures like sun conures, very beautiful, again, very sweet, but they're noisy.
But I love this guy because every time I come into the store here, he's walking around one of your employees' shoulders.
Yeah, always on somebody's shoulder.
Yeah, he's always just walking, helping out, setting up the place. But great bird. In fact, I just picked him up a few minutes ago and brought him over here, no problem. He's, like you said, very easy to handle.
And, the thing is when they're hand-fed as babies, and what that means is they're taken away from their parents at about 3 weeks old, and we hand-feed them with a gruel. This way, they pretty much look at us as like their family. Birds are flock animals, so they want to be with, their flock. And when they're really young, they don't even know they're a bird.
Right.
They think we're just one of us.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, I love that one. Every time I come in here, I try to talk to him. But let's talk about care of birds because you got different things that you can do, different size cage. I mean, I guess it depends on the bird.
Yeah. I mean, the bigger the better. Obviously, they always want more room, as much room as they can get. Now, they don't need a ton of room. Obviously, this cage here is a perfect size for him. You could go a little smaller. It depends if you have a lot of time with them.
Right.
If you're taking them out a lot, then you could have a smaller cage. Where if you're a busy person, and the other good thing is to have it in a room where everybody is, where you're watching TV, that kind of thing, where all the action is. If you tuck them away, they're not going to be as nice. They're going to have behavior problems. They'll even start feather picking. Because you are their flock, and they are very smart animals, so they need to be stimulated.
They want to be involved. They want to get involved. Like this guy, like I said, he sets up the store every morning. When you come in, everything's cleaned up and ready to go.
And there's tons of different treats, tons of different toys. I mean, you can see all the different toys we have there. Switching them out, even if you have a ton of toys, we'll give them a couple at a time and switch them out for them. And as they get older, they do get set in their ways, just like us. So, you might try something or try a new treat if you have an older bird, and they might not like it the first time or two, but eventually, they just don't know they like it.
I was looking at this stick here. What is that?
Now, one of the things about caring for them is their nails grow and their beaks grow. So you want to have these sand perches or cement perches. There's a bunch of different kinds and styles. There's all these guys. And what they'll do is they have sand on them. So they'll grind the nails down. So otherwise when you handle them, they're like little points.
Right,
in the wild, they're made to keep growing because they are doing all kinds of stuff to wear them down.
And they'll do that on their own then, pretty much. They'll get on those and do that kind of.
Now sometimes you'll have to do it on your own, clip them, or we do it here. We'll do the nails. The other thing is his wings are clipped. You always want to have them clipped. Even the nicest of birds, I've heard tons of horror stories where people went outside with a bird that didn't have their wings clipped. And I don't know what happens, but they go in the air and they get confused and they're gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
And they're domesticated. They don't know to stay away from dogs or cats or whatever, so it's I've heard some horror stories, man, really.
Clipped. And you guys do all that for them?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yep. And you don't even, unless it's a really big bird, like macaws, parrots, that kind of thing, you want to call ahead. Otherwise, parakeets, most of my guys can do it. It takes 5 minutes, if that, to do their nails and wings. And they molt 2 times a year. Just like a dog, where they get their winter coat, summer coat. So as they shed the feathers that we clipped, they're going to start flying again. So that's when you want to do it,
a couple times a year. I was looking at this. This is great stuff here. Tell me what that is.
Yeah, so they, well, obviously there's tons of food, tons of treats. Just like any bird, their digestive tract isn't very long. So they go to the bathroom, I think they eat it, and 2 seconds later it comes out. So yeah, there's a bunch of different products on the shelf, but these definitely help. The one with the brush, These get all the stuff off the grates on the bottom, or the perches, or the bowls. And that's the other thing too to think about when you put your perches. Pay attention to what's underneath of them, because that's going to get showered with, poop. So you don't want to put the, say their water bowl underneath the perch, because it's going to be gross pretty quick.
And that's going back for kids. I mean, this is a great starter pet, so they learn how to take care of them, because there's a lot of work to a bird. I mean, they're definitely a lot more work. And
parakeets are a great starter. They can be finger tamed. You give them, work with them. They typically, people don't hand feed them as babies, just because it's a lot of work for the little birds. It's kind of tedious. But sometimes you can find those. But even if not, you can, when they're by themselves. Eventually, if you want a bird that you can handle, that you want to work with, you really just want one. And don't put any mirrors in there, because they'll fall in love with the man in the mirror.
kind of like our camera guy. But let's talk about, because you got different foods here. I'm looking at all the different stuff. What is this?
Now, the best way to go is the what do you call it, pelleted. They have the fruit style ones, and then I don't know what you call that, but they're just a regular style. The good thing about these is that they are more expensive, but there's not as much waste as there is in the seeds. Because the seeds, there's a lot of the shells. There's stuff they don't like. Now, not all birds will take to these right away, especially older ones. If you're doing kind of hand feeding or as babies, you want to go with these. It's just better. It's much better for them. The diet's made, specifically for them. Where a lot of the seeds, it's multiple seeds from all over the earth that's put in one thing, and not necessarily what's best for them.
Seeds every which way.
Exactly, and just like just like a kid, they're gonna throw out the stuff that's good for them and eat the stuff that's not the best for them.
Yeah, and but you got all kinds of different stuff.
And they have these things here. These are cool. They're little cakes that you can you make. You boil water, or you can even these style is all it's almost like a ready meal. You put water in there and you microwave it, and then it's ready to go. It's pretty cool. It's all pasta.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you can give it to them like that, but spaghetti. We were just talking about that. The birds love people food. Now, of course, stay away from any kind of sodas, anything that has carbonation, beer, that kind of stuff. If you're a smoker, you don't really want them in that room where you're smoking.
I noticed
there's certain house plants that are poisonous to them.
So you got to do some research.
Absolutely.
You got to do some research. I was telling you about mine. He loved potato chips. I mean, I couldn't get out a bag of potato chips. He was there wanting chips.
And Cheerios. And a number of different cereals they love, and but that's just it. I mean, a lot of stuff. Anytime you're eating any vegetable, green beans. I mean, broccoli. They'll go nuts for it.
Yeah, so
it's good for them.
Great starter pets are just great, and they live a long time. That's a nice thing. You're going to get a lot of life out of
now,
them.
Now the parakeets, you'll get about 15 years out of them. A little bit bigger cockatiels, about 20, 25. These guys here do about 30, 35. Then when you get to the parrots, I mean, they're over 100 years. Some of the like macaws, hyacinth macaws, the blue and gold macaws, those kind of things. I mean, you literally, no matter how old you are, you're going to need a will to your grandkids. They're going to be there for a while. But these are, it's not, they do last for a while.
At my age, I don't want to get one of those, so
right.
I'd have to be willing to,
I wouldn't buy green bananas.
but you got all types of birds, and getting people birds, is that hard for you guys to do?
No, not at all. I mean, if they have a wish list, I can certainly find some, finding babies, and we'll hand feed them. Right. And, they can visit them up to the point they're ready to go. And it's just like bringing a baby home, you know?
With this one, I'm telling you, he lives here at the shop. He's always on somebody's shoulder going around every time I come in here. Cleaning wise, I mean, put things in the pan, just take it out. I mean,
a lot of things are dishwasher safe. So the bowls, the perches, all that kind of stuff, you can certainly put them through there. Except for some of the perches that have the sand on there. But again, you have to poop off for that. You want to rinse it. You want to if you can use some kind of paper. A lot of times you'll chew it up. But if you can put paper on the bottom and switch that out every day, that'll be a lot of help.
Yeah.
But usually about once a week, you really want to wipe it down pretty good. And I'd say again once a month, you really want to take it outside and wash it off and get into all the crevices and all that stuff.
And your kid will enjoy them for they're pretty much all the way through their adulthood and stuff like that.
Yeah, we hear a lot of them where they're in their bedrooms with them.
Yeah. So if you're looking for something that'll teach your kids the responsibility of taking care of it, because it is a lot of work, and they have to know they got to feed them, water it every day. They've got to, clean the cage on a regular basis.
And these aren't ones you want to forget, like a fish or something like that, if you miss a day, it's not that serious. These got to be,
Yeah.
you know, you got to get on them every day.
If you miss feeding them, and they know different languages, they'll tell you about it too.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, and watch your language around them too.
That's it. They will learn how to talk. So it's all here for you. Pet Care. I don't care what your pet needs are. You're going to find it here at Pet Care. If you don't find it here, just grab one of the staff members. They have it. Folks, anything, any help, any questions you need answered, it's there for you. Visit their site on Facebook. Join it. So there's great activity on that.
And we're always updating and putting new pictures of puppies and kittens and all kinds of stuff on there. So you just like looking at puppies and kittens.
Yeah, it's there for you. And Kevin's always here too. So if you have any questions whatsoever, just stop in a store and they'll be more than happy. In fact, I've called a couple times, you know, and got it. Your pet tip from Pet Care once again this month. We'll see you next month. Bye bye.
Thank you.